It's the Memphis Sports Network, WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, WMFS FM and HD1 Bartlett, WMFS Memphis, ESPN 790 AM and 92.9 FM ESPN.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time. Take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this July 22nd. As I tell you, we're heading into our 16th anniversary coming up in August. I guess this young man that's on with us right now, he's still a young man to me, but he joins our list of FLW Forest Wood Cup competitors. We couldn't do this show without him because he is, I'm his PR man. I want that to be known throughout the world that I am, if I'm not, then his two daughters and his wife and the dog are the handler.
And you know, Joe does a pretty good job of helping them out.
Yeah,
too.
Joe Parker, you do a good job, Joe. Do you know Mark Rose, Joe?
Yeah, I've worked with him quite a bit this year.
That you have, and there's Mark Rose from over in Crittenden County. There's his song. Look at that.
He's got his own song.
Oh, I love
Welcome,
this song.
Mark.
I love it. Look at Mark coming in the room just like that. Here we go. Oh, I love this. Would you listen to his first word?
That's my band. That's my pop.
Here he comes. That's Mark singing. Oh, golly. Thank you. Thank you, Stuart Settles. He surprised me.
Stuart's a man.
He's a man. If you go to Mark's website, which is, what is it, Mark? What's your website?
Hello?
Mark, what's your
Lost you
website?
for a second.
Well, you just got to sit down. Where are you? You at the Red Barn in West Memphis?
No, I got you now.
Okay, so what?
Third website,
Yeah, what's your website?
roseoutdoors.com.
All right, you'll hear that song. That's right. That is his band. You know,
That's right.
It's the second best theme song of anybody I know.
Yep.
The first is mine. You know, so
Wow. I gotta find me one, I guess.
we'll find you one. Yeah. Okay. It'd have to be about the Delta. Hey, Mark, I know that. Let's talk about the Forest Wood Cup. Been there, done that. Let's talk a little bit about Lake Murray, and Ron's going to ask you all these technical questions and everything. But I got to ask you. I know you've been asked this. A great start, a great year, back-to-back wins. What's your feeling as you head to Lake Murray? I mean, this is a time that you fished this lake before. Talk a little bit about the emotional side of the season, but at the same time about being in this a chance to win this thing.
Yeah, somebody's going to take away $300,000 that week, and I can't think of a better guy for it to happen to than me. You know, some guy will catch 15 bass. I mean, can you think of that as think back to when you were a kid out brim fishing somewhere and knowing that somebody's going to catch 15 bass and they're going to hand them a check for $300,000. That's pretty amazing. And you know, we all worked to get there all year. You know, it started back at Guntersville, and you know, every one of us want want to be at the Forest Wood Cup. That's the pinnacle
Yeah.
of our sport. You know, when you fish the FLW, and my goodness, I want to be there. That's the one place I want to be in August. Even though it's going to be hot, and I'm fair complected and red hair and freckles, and it's going to be tough. But hey, you know, they don't just give things like that away. You're going to have to earn it, and the best of the best to be there fighting it out. I'm going to have to beat a good field to get that check, but I'll be working really hard for it, Larry.
Well, you always work hard, Mark. On the water, off the water, you do so many great things for the community, for your church, and for the fishing industry, and I certainly applaud you for all you do. You know, we look at Lake Murray, Mark, and people have tried to do the deep fishing, the ledge fishing, the deep brush and stuff like that. Are you going to have a chance to use those Mark Rose Lou's Ledge Series rods there on Lake Murray?
Absolutely. That's all I'll have on the deck. That's all I use anymore. Ron, I'm going to be looking at I'm going to try to stay open-minded when I go there.
Right.
There'll be bluegills bedding around the bank, and there'll be some fish up there doing that. There'll be some fish out. Nice one. I'd love to find a fish that talked, and so I could learn a lot about it, because there's something that just something I don't understand. But they'll be out chasing those, and then there'll be some. There's shad in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be fish on shad, and then there's the river system that Steve Kennedy showed us the last time we were there. The
right.
quality that can live up there. So you just never know. I'm gonna try to go there. Of course, I love to ledge fish. I love to use my electronics and all that, but I'm going to go there with an open mind, and I'm going to look for schoolers first thing in the morning, and then just kind of let the day unfold from there.
Mark, the last time at the Cup when it was there, I was fortunate enough to find you on the lake a couple of times and talk about versatility. I'm watching you throw a Strike King swim type bait. I think it was a 0 for schooling fish. You got to be really versatile on that lake and be able to use those kind of things. And one of the things that I've seen is Strike King has such an array of baits that you can use. You pretty well just have about 6 different baits and you're ready to go, aren't you?
That's right. Strike King's got everything. But yeah, to be a successful competitive touring tournament professional these days, and I tell these young guys, don't be one track minded.
Mm-hmm.
I know Denny Breyer won a lot of tournaments flipping and pitching, and but also people don't realize that Denny had to pick up a crankbait and a spinning rod and a shaky hit from time to time, and got a lot of checks that way. And David Fritz, you think about him being a one-track cranker, but yet I've seen him throw a little finesse worm and a Carolina rig so many times. So, yeah, you really have to be versatile anymore. You have to learn different regions, different species, different water clarities, different, just everything. And so you've got to run the gamut as far as the water column and everything. And clear water, muddy water, you got to be proficient at all of it. And that's the best advice I can give anybody. And is to be very versatile. And the fisherman that wins the Forest Wood Cup, he will not go out there and do it on one stretch of bank.
That's right.
Doing one particular technique. It'll be a guy who's very versatile, and he'll pick up a spinning rod, and he'll pick up a top water, and he'll go down in 25 feet of water. So, yeah, you got to be versatile to be out here, man.
Well, let me ask you, Mark. We've had early in the show, we had Larry Nixon on, talking about his career and things along that line. Give us your thoughts on Larry Nixon and what he's meant for professional bass fishing. I mean, those of us that have reached a certain age to see Larry Nixon still in that field. What do you think about him?
Well, I think so much of Larry and just all those guys that kind of blazed the trail for all of us. I say young guys. I was young at one time. I'm now a veteran, but
no, you.
They they laid the groundwork. I mean, they're the the godfathers of our
The
sport.
pioneers of the sport.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and to see him.
Man,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Larry gave me a piece of advice that I never will forget it. Early on in my career, I asked him, and I asked a lot of guys questions because I really wanted this for the long haul. I said, Larry, well, how come, how is it somebody at your age, how can you still go out and compete and still enjoy it? And because I don't want to be 50 and just be burnt out, and he
Uh-huh.
I don't fish all the time. I try to, I want fishing to be when it's time to go to a tournament. I want to be excited, and I knew exactly what he was talking about because I'm kind of the same way. But it was good hearing it from him because you got guys that fish every day, and man, I just feel like after time you'll get burnt out, and it was great advice because man, I go crappie fishing a little here and there. I bluegill fish, but I stay off the water a whole lot and spend some time with, family, church, deer stand, all that kind of stuff. I tell you, when the Forest Wood Cup rolls around, I'm gonna be ripped, snorting, ready to go. I don't bass fish every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Last year, I left the Forest Wood Cup, and I did not bass fish one time until I went to practice for Lake Guntersville.
And when was
a
that?
long gap in there.
How long a gap was that?
Well, that was August to, Joe, February?
Yeah,
something like that.
First weekend in February is when we kicked off the season this year.
Yeah, so that's the breakaway. And I know, and Joe, as Mark talks about, these guys really, and Mark is one of those that represents the FLW, what it's all about, the working guy, the family guy, the good guy. And I know you utilize your competitors in a way to help spread the good news about fishing, but also about life itself.
Oh, absolutely. Mark is a great ambassador for, not only FLW and its sponsors, but the whole entire sport of bass fishing and pro bass fishing. That's really cool to hear. I had no idea that he hadn't picked up a rod since the Forest Wood Cup last year, and then to come off and start the season
I
the
said
way
a bass
did.
rod.
A bass rod.
I did.
Wait a minute.
Well, sure, a bass rod.
Right. Mark filled the boat with crappie last fall.
Yeah, well,
in winter.
he'll hunt a little bit too.
Travis, really cool to see.
Yeah, well, we appreciate both of you guys taking time. Joe's going to hang on. We got one more second. Mark, thank you, buddy. I don't believe in luck, and I believe it's all faith. And just load up at, go by and get all your kids and your dog to rub your hair and go. Okay.
And then go by Rose Outdoors shop there, as Greg Bohannon would say. Fill up your truck and go get them.
Go get them. All right, buddy.
We'll see you there, buddy.
All I got.
I know you are. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Joe's going to hang on. We're going to end up with Cody Meyer on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find